All right, there's a big difference between thinking relatively and thinking in parallel. Now, we're going to do an example of that today in the pentatonic scale. So you all know this one, right? Okay. But if I were to take that same pentatonic scale and just start it from a C, I now have a C major pentatonic scale. I'm in a different key. In this case, I'm in the key of C major, no longer in the key of A minor. All right. That's thinking relatively. When you think relatively, the logic is these two scales share the same notes, and so they are relative. But despite the fact that they are relative, they are not in the same key. And that's a big deal. We have two completely different keys here. One is in the key of C major, the other is in the key of A minor. They have different tonal centers. So you're comparing two things that are, that are just simply different. Okay, but now what we want to do is take that C major pentatonic and combine it, let's say, with the A minor pentatonic. So in order to do that with the C major pentatonic, I'm going to play just a different position of C major. This is as relevant scale form as the other. So there we go. That is the same notes as we had here, right? You can hear that. Now we're going to take that scale form and we're going to move it down to A. And here's the pentatonic minor. Now we have the two together. So you have both of them together. What's the point? Well, obviously you've got more color there, don't you? In the A minor pentatonic, you have the flat three, making it a minor. Right? You don't. But if you're playing a blues and you're playing an A chord, you've got a C sharp in that. In the major pentatonic, you've got a C sharp there as well. Right? There it is. It's actually a closer, in closer relation to that A7 than the minor pentatonic is. But you also end up with a couple of really cool color tones. One of those cool colors is the 13, right? If I count it through the Mixolydian mode, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There it is. There's that cool 13. And you've got that color now, which you don't have in the pentatonic scale. And that's 1. And then you also have the 9, which you don't have in the pentatonic scale. And the 9 against chord. It's really a lovely tension. Now, when you start to combine these two scales in that way, you have a very minor-y sound. I'm trying to stay away from the flat 5. Okay, minor, major pentatonic. 9. Okay, why not just bunch all of these notes together and play, you know, a scale, like in putting all those notes together? Because it's not the same approach. This way it separates, very strongly separates these lovely major colors and these lovely minor colors. You know, the blue note of the flat 3 going to the major 3, right? And the flat 7 that you find in minor combined with the 13 or the 6, right? And then the 9 combined with that flat 3. There's that 9. So it's a lovely way of thinking. It's a way of thinking, really, as you know, speaking guitaristically. It's a way of thinking that you know, a number of players have used, including I know Eric Clapton. I mean, he has a different obviously a different approach to playing lines, but that's very much integrated in his thinking. Is that or was? I don't know how he's thinking now. It's none of my business. But is that combination of the minor and the major. Okay, good. Think about that. In scales that you're thinking of relatively, that's sort of a little bit of cute theory stuff. But it's not going to get you to the real meat of what it is when you start to think two scales in parallel or composite scales, and this can be taken a long way. And this is just an introduction to that journey with pentatonic scales. Of course, they should be extrapolated over the entire fretboard if you really want to get your chops together. Okay, great. That's major and minor pentatonic scales in parallel.